Hey everyone, you're listening to Athletes Beyond the Mind, a sports psychology and mental training podcast. Athletes Beyond the Mind is brought to you by Close the Gate Hoops and Close the Gate Hoops Mindset. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome back to Athletes Beyond the Mind, our mental training and sports psychology podcast. This week, it's all about confidence, what it is, how to build it, and how to make sure it doesn't become arrogance. So to start off, we gotta know what confidence even is. So I want you to pause this episode right now and think about what confidence means to you. All right, so now that you took a moment to kind of think about that, pause it, all of that. So the definition I give, it doesn't mean if it doesn't match yours that you aren't right. This is just kind of the dictionary definition and more of a way I like to explain it. So the dictionary definition of confidence is a feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities. So the way I like to think of it is confidence is knowing your skills and trusting yourself that you can achieve your goals and perform well. So if it doesn't exactly match yours, that's okay. But I just want you to think of confidence in your own words so you know what it is. So when you think about building it and improving it, increasing it, and stopping it from becoming arrogant, you think about your definition so that it matches yours and that it somewhat matches mine, but more your own words. So yeah, that's what confidence is. Knowing your skills, trusting yourself, and trusting yourself that you can achieve your goals and perform well. When thinking about confidence versus arrogance, I don't really like to think of things as a binary because we are all such scales of everything. Our world is a scale. But to go to very basic terms, confidence is a positive trait, arrogance is a negative trait. Confidence is, like I said, that trust in your abilities. Arrogance is that you're better than everyone else no matter what. Confidence is the fact that you can do your thing, and if you're on a team, you trust your team to do their thing and that you're going to all do well because you believe in yourself. Arrogance is that you're better than everyone else no matter what. You don't need anyone help. Confidence is overcoming mistakes, allowing those mistakes happen, know they're going to happen, and being able to overcome them. While arrogance, you don't even think you can make a mistake. If something goes wrong, that's not your fault. That was someone else's fault. That wasn't a mistake. This was someone else's fault. You're still perfect. You're still great. Confidence is what leads to a great leader and great team connection if you play on a team. Arrogance is that person that no one really wants to play with because they don't make it fun. Even if they are really talented, no one really wants them because that attitude is not a good thing to be around and it breaks teams down. So yeah, in short terms, confidence, positive, arrogance, negative. Avoid the things that get you stuck in that fixed mindset, which we will have an episode comparing growth and fixed mindset in a bit. But you don't want to be stuck in that where you can't make mistakes, you're the only one that can do anything, and that you think you're better than everyone else. Because even if you are really talented, there's always someone that's going to be good at something you're not, and that's what makes our world go round. None of us are perfect at everything we do. If we were, we wouldn't really ever learn, and to be honest, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun. I like to see other people succeed at things they do. And of course, yeah, I want to be good at the things I do, but I like watching others succeed. If I was the best at everything, yeah, I guess it could be fun, but it would also be really lonely. That's why we like to see people with different talents and different ideas and things like that. All right, so we now know what confidence is. We now know the difference between confidence and arrogance. But how can we build up confidence without it becoming arrogance? So first, let's just focus on the three main tips that are let's say four main tips of building confidence, and then we'll talk about how to make sure it doesn't get to that arrogance. So the first tip is self-talk, which we just had a podcast and a blog about it. Some quotes of the week about it. Really explore our social media and our different resources to learn more about self-talk. But the big thing with confidence is really focusing on that positive and that constructive self-talk and avoiding that negative self-talk. It's about saying things that you're good at and having that positive, I can do this. I have the skills. And the constructive of, if you make a mistake, you can overcome it. You can put doubts in those doubts. You can say like, yeah, things are going to happen. Mistakes happen. This game isn't going to be perfect. And we can still do it. Yeah, I made a mistake, but I learned something new from it. Things like that. And of course, please go back and learn more about self-talk and what it is from our previous episodes and blogs and things like that. But that second tip that I want to talk about is goal setting, which we also have a lot of blogs and podcasts about. So like I always say, it's all connected. But the second is goal setting. And kind of like I talked about with the goal setting, if you only ever have those really long-term, really big goals, which are good to have, but if you only have those, it's going to be really hard when you don't reach them, or if it takes forever to reach them, because that doesn't build you up. That doesn't give you hope or that thought of like, yes, I can do that. Look at me. I reached these small goals. I'm crushing it. You're going to keep working toward those big goals. So that's why you need a mixture of smaller goals and long-term goals so that you can succeed and reach your small and short-term goals to build up to these bigger and longer term goals. Because every short-term, smaller goal that you reach builds up your self-esteem, builds up that confidence a little bit. It has you kind of moving and grooving. It has you feeling good about yourself so that you can keep continuing and keep shooting for the stars, keep reaching for bigger, better things. Keep being like, okay, I now did this skill. Let me try this even harder one until I get it. We won conference last year. Let's make sure we win our first round of playoffs this year. Always having something you can reach to, but also knowing you have things that you have succeeded and you can look back at those. So when you are struggling, you can look back and be like, okay, just because I'm struggling with this one goal right now doesn't mean I can't reach it. Look at all these other ones that I thought I wasn't ever going to reach, because this point of your life is a goal at one point. The skills you learned were a goal at one point. So just keep going. And that's what goal setting, especially those shorter, small-term goals, will help you do. It helps build that confidence because you are succeeding and you can see your skills, your abilities, your qualities, all of that are successful and can lead to success. The third tip is getting out of your comfort zone. If you stay in your little bubble of what makes you comfortable, you're not really going to learn. You're not really going to improve because you're right there. You're like, I'm good. I'm not going to expand this at all. But if you get out of your comfort zone, that's when you start learning new skills, and that's when you can gain confidence. Because if you're only confident in this one way, when you get put in another situation, you're not going to be confident. So instead, work on the skills here, but see how they transition to this part or this part or this part. So I always like to say, maybe you're a really confident athlete. So let's say you're one of the most confident soccer players ever. You feel really good. What about it is that you're confident? Is it your skills? Is it your leadership? Name specific things. How does that connect to your school life, your social life, your work life, your family life, your friends? How does that all connect? And really expand that. Just because you feel safe in that soccer world doesn't mean you can't expand and start feeling comfortable in these other ones and really pushing that zone of comfortability, growing it. Because as you grow it and you become more and more confident in other zones, you're just going to continue to feel confident and be able to expand that world of yours. And then our fourth tip for how to build confidence is you aren't alone. Sometimes it's a lonely road when you either are doubting yourself, you're making mistakes, or anything else is kind of happening. So make sure you're talking to others. One, your teammates. They're on the same journey you are of trying to improve. Second, your family and friends. If you're struggling, let them know. Let your coaches know too, your teachers, whatever it is. Because they can't help you if they don't know something's wrong. They can't help you if they don't know you're struggling. No one is able to help you or stop you from doing that negative self-talk if they don't know you're doing it. So make sure you share with others because you aren't alone and people generally want to help you. So talk to those people that you trust when you're struggling or you're just not feeling like yourself or when you're kind of doubting yourself. Even if you know you have the skills, you're just doubting in your abilities, share it with others. Confidence and mental strength and any other word you want to put in, you're not by yourself. Even self-talk is still the influence from other people. You're never truly alone. So reach out for help. Reach out when you're struggling. Reach out when you need help with a skill, or maybe you need them to show you again. There's nothing wrong with that. So again, the 4 main tips for building confidence are self-talk, the positive and constructive, goal setting, making sure you have smaller, shorter term goals to build up to the longer term, getting out of your comfort zone, and remembering you're not alone. And the last little bit of this episode is how to stop confidence from becoming arrogance. So we know what confidence and arrogance are, and that confidence more that positive growth mindset, trusting and being able to lead others and being able to trust your team, while arrogance is thinking, that more negative trait, that thinking you're better than everyone else, not learning from your mistakes because you don't think you make them. Short recap of what I talked about a few minutes ago. But how can you stop confidence from becoming arrogance? Honestly, sometimes it's a little tough. And it's not about minimizing yourself, because I never want you to minimize who you are in any aspect. But it's about reminding yourself that you have other people, and also reminding yourself that mistakes are normal and they happen to a lot of people, and accepting those mistakes so you can move forward. As long as you're able to allow yourself to make mistakes, know they're going to happen, and learn from them, you won't ever become arrogant. Now, you may be a little cocky and you may be like, yeah, I'm feeling really good today, I'm going to kick butt, things like that, which is totally okay. So yeah, the little secret of stopping confidence from becoming arrogance is still accepting your mistakes, still accepting them and learning from them instead of getting stuck on them or always putting the blame on someone else. It's accepting responsibility and knowing they're coming. That's my big secret of stopping confidence from becoming arrogance. So thank you so much for listening to our episode about confidence, how to build it, the difference between confidence and arrogance. Like I said, please explore our other blogs and podcasts to learn about some of the other topics I mentioned in this one. Also, reach out if you have any topics in mind, or if you're like, hey, it'd be really cool if you talk to this person. I can see if they're willing to come on. If you have any questions, I am happy to answer them. As always, sign up for our one-on-one mental training sessions. If you want something done with your team, also reach out that way. There's always workshops, and we're kind of building a program right now. If you're interested in that, follow us on all social media at CTG Mindset to get some quote of the week, some tips throughout the week, different things like that. Just stay updated that way. And also join our newsletter by going to our website. Just wait a few seconds and there'll be a thing that pops up. One, you get a free cool thing of some activities for individual and for teams to learn about team building and some stress management techniques. But also you can explore the rest of our website and just learn a little bit about us. So again, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you all have a great day. Thank you all for listening to Athletes Beyond the Mind, a mental skills and sports psychology podcast. Please follow us on all social media at CTG Mindset.